upload all our project, because usually in the project of cultural heritage for in virtual reality, what's happening is that we build system, and these systems are not used. So because we don't have place where show these things. Oops. Second Life is an opportunity for us because we can show this project, we can explain, meet other people, we can talk with them, we can present our data, we can have new ideas and so on. In this part, our purpose was, I made this part just for the students, because you have the 3D reconstruction, but you don't know how it looked like at the beginning, no? The excavation. Going in excavation, usually no one understands nothing. So it's impossible, also for an archaeology. So the infrastructure, you know, just in order to understand how it was, it's so full of words and aspects that are so far from our culture that it's impossible. You just see a very small wall and you don't know. But in this way, using a transparency level, it's possible to perceive the space, to understand, and also to understand how terrible is this roof, how the creation of this roof absolutely interrupt the sensation of the perception of the full space. We are talking about a palace here, not just a normal roof, you know. In this way, it's possible to, you know, to suggest. Going in the real villa, what we did was to reconstruct partially the Villa di Livia, put inside a lot of movies, PowerPoint presentation, just in order to help the people to understand not the villa, of course, only the villa, but also how we could fix this idea of the villa, how we could represent the villa, how we interpret the villa, because that is important. So if I can tell you how I could create something, how I could represent, why I arrived to, you know, to make the villa in that way, you can understand how my brain works, you know, and this is the interpretation process. This area is the research area. We are running this experiment, and the topic of the experiment is to understand how the transmission of the information changing the distribution of the information inside the place. Okay, where Maurizio is now is exactly the atrium of the villa. We change all the texture, and we upload inside exactly the same information that we have in the movies. That's very important because usually when the students make this experiment, after we give a questionnaire and they have to test, and we try to record how many information they could record inside. In the second floor, there is exactly the same situation, but with the computer graphic movies. The same information, but with a storytelling approach. And it's interesting because for every single floor, we run an experiment. And what are we trying to do is to create an ideal model for the transmission of the information to apply in the real world. Because what are we doing here is just create a 3D reconstruction of a normal museums. And we say, okay, because here we can simulate, because it's a simulation platform, first of all. The question is, can we study how to transform a museum in a learning place? Or in a place where the people really can understand? Not just pass and try to read something. Because, you know, here we have a different way to learn. There is a symbolic a symbolic reconstructing way to learn. This is pretty complicated to apply for everybody, for everybody else, also in the normal museum. So, which kind of structure or infrastructure can we use? With Second Life, we can experiment. Yeah, we can run a lot of experiments and build new 3D models in order to increase or improve the performance of our museums. So it's interesting because it's like to jump in the cyberspace and come back in the real world, because this experiment is for the real world. So I mean, it's for us. So it's a very strong platform under this point of view. Another problem, of course, the Second Life is not perfect. No, there are many problems also in order of representation. I'm sure that talking with a group of engineering experts of computer graphics could be possible to plan a Second Life or a new Second Life very powerful in terms of behaviors and graphics. But what's the problem? The problem is that it's very complicated to involve people. It's very complicated. So we use the success of Second Life just because in Second Life, so first of all, its characteristic is that the only one community word that is realized by this user. So the developer of Second Life, they did not realize nothing in 3D. They just provide the instruments, and the user, you know, start to build this world. So when people say, oh, Second Life is very poor, it's true, but it's because the society is poor of contents. So that's very interesting, because we can approach in Second Life in a critic way or in a constructive way. We can say, okay, our mission with Second Life is, okay, why don't try to bring the people, to bring inside the communities different contents.